Also als sie die gesehen hat. Aber das kann auch Schock gewesen sein.
I know Renju and Shoko. And I'm connected to Iris.
Bin ich paranoid und hab's getan.
Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them.
Atze, vielen Dank für dein Sub.
Now that I think about it,
Dankeschön,
Shoko
herzlich
too.
willkommen im Stream.
I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now.
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is zero possibility you are the new Cyclops
Der
killer.
New, sagt sie.
I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
I thought it
Wie
over.
geht's dir, Donatze?
Of the people
Wir
I know,
erleben
I
hier
can't
gerade
peg
den
any of them as the
Horror.
murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit. To get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
Iris hat gewusst, dass sie das nächste Opfer ist. Die Frage ist nur, wieso sie es gewusst hat. Okay, wie sind wir jetzt drauf? Sind wir verständnisvoll und sagen der armen Mutter, dass ihr Sohn gestorben ist, oder beschuldigen wir die Frau als Killer? Place was silent. It was so quiet I felt like I could hear the floating dust. I stepped inside. I thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching a decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth.
This is your fault.
Was?
I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris. My boy Ota got involved.
Also bitte.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me?
Dein Sohn hat mich getasert. Dann ist mit Iris weggegangen.
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Aber ich will noch gucken, ob das Messer hier rumliegt. Kann ich nicht. Also hier hat sie es letztes Mal abgelegt, aber ja gut, du kannst auch wieder in die Küche handhaben. Also ich sehe hier kein Messer, ja? Ja. Nur damit ihr es wisst. Ich habe keine Punkte, bin aber auch im Dashboard. Was für Punkte? Okay, es sei ein 7 TV Add-on für Moderator Operations. Nevermind. Ein was? Rating in Germany is 16 and older. Okay, that seems too much for me. Atze, bist du noch da? Bist du schon wieder weg? Hast du gesehen, was wir spielen und bist dann wieder weg? Ich will eigentlich nicht zum Storehouse, aber ich glaube, wir müssen da als erstes hin. Wisst ihr, das Ding ist, ich finde so Detektiv und Polizeiarbeit und so echt interessant, aber ich könnte es nie machen. Ich würde jeden Tag kotzen, glaube ich, bei sowas. I stepped into the cold storage warehouse. Oh Gott. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hadn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin. Ah, guck mal, das Kagami. But the center of my body was burning hot. Ich wollte gerade sagen, tu es nicht. Bitte tu es nicht. Ich kann es nicht. Ich kann ihn nicht fragen, wie er heißt. Jetzt ist Schluss mit lustig hier. Mein Kind tut so etwas nicht. Ja, ja, kennen wir. Oh wow. For here it's 17. Anything 18 or older is rated A for adults only. You have a 17 rating? Okay. 7TV ist ein Browser-Add-on, so wie Better-TV. Nur mit viel mehr Emotes und Add-ons. Okay, und du hast das. Agami jetzt was gefunden.
Nothing so far. I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
Wirklich? Nicht mal die riesen Blutlachen? Nothing in it. Okay, wieso ist hier eine Blutlache? Hier wurde er vermutlich gesteppt. Das Auto Blood, ich vermute stark. Ein Evidence Marker. Also in Otas Blood, oh Gott.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Blood loss.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that.
Okay.
I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal.
Okay.
Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Das heißt, er kann sich nicht selbst erstochen haben und dann auf die Bench geklettert sein. Können wir ausschließen.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
Oh, ich will das jetzt nicht nochmal sehen.
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd. is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
Man musste es wissen.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know.
Welche Okiuras kennen wir?
Renju's father created the company.
Na, okay.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died.
Ich habe das Gefühl, dass Renju gar nicht mehr so richtig in der Company war, oder?
In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
Shelves packed with cardboard boxes. I don't see any clues here. Okay, aber eine ist hier. Warum auch immer. A wooden box on a shelf. It's empty. A forklift. I don't see anything special about it. Iris and Ota were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine. Iris and Ota.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live stream filmed in real time.
Which means Iris's time of death is 3:20 a.m.
10 Minuten vor, oder? Wieso der Livestream?
Iris also had her left eye removed.
Okay, ich war mir nicht sicher, weil hier sieht's aus, als wäre es irgendwie nur gefährdet.
Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered. This forklift is old. It does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
A hook is hanging from the ceiling crane. Sure. Maybe Ota was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. that led to a scuffle. Is ein scuffle? And Uta ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume and finally cut open by the ice cutting machine. Das ist auch noch so ein Ding. Warum hat der Mörder ihn...
But why?
Also warum war es wichtig, ihn da
Why did the
reinzustecken?
culprit put the costume on
Ja.
Uta?
Unknown. Date, we should get moving.
Was?
Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
All right.
Yeah, the system is a bit different. Germany has 0, 6, 12, 16, or 18 years as rating. Yeah. Plus we have E for everyone, T for teen, around 13, and M for major. Okay. Sometimes they include E, 10 for ages 10 and up. Okay. Ich hätte gerne auch noch ein 21 und drüber Zeichen. Ja, ich kann nicht moven irgendwie. I let them know, then left the warehouse. Hallo, Ali Hasim. Ich vermute mal. Ich spreche das richtig aus, wenn nicht, dann bitte jetzt verbessern. Hi, hi. Herzlich willkommen im Stream. Schön, dass du zuschaust. When I left the warehouse, I saw Beauty. What is he doing here? Was macht der denn da? Kennst du mich? Ich glaube nicht.
Date, I have to talk to you about
Ich glaube, du
something.
warst doch nie hier, oder?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little.
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes.
Oh nein. Die sagt mir
I'm
nicht was
absolutely
doch.
certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer. Although, it's more accurate to say killers.
More than one?
Also es ist
In
richtig,
the
dass
first
Iris
series
immer
of
2
killings,
gesehen hat.
the culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Okay. Das war der
They
Drahtzieher,
each
oder?
had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
Okay, also das war der Yakuza, der sich umgebracht hat, oder? Also von TikTok. Sorry. Nein, glaube nicht. War der mit dem Tunnelkommentar. Tunnel. Was für ein Tunnelkommentar. Sorry. Sorry. Musst du mir auf die Sprünge helfen? Okay, können wir hier noch was angucken? Police Officer. Policeman. Okay. Nope. Hologram Barrier. Ach, egal. Okay, sorry. Bin ich der Murderous Psychopath?
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out.
Gottes Willen, ich
Reason
möchte
why
das
was
nicht wissen.
He was fascinated by women's eyes.
Okay, okay, jetzt muss ich dann vielleicht bald
His
aufhören.
desire to possess them. He needed to have them, to make them his own.
Ich habe jetzt gerade ein bisschen was
Driven by this
verpasst.
instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women. He
Okay.
was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge.
Aber
His
wieso?
deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned psychopath. The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye. Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
War ich eine Frau? Hat er zu spät gemerkt, dass ich eine Frau bin und mich dann nicht umgebracht? Okay, Jude, woher weißt du das alles? Und warum weiß Boss das nicht? Und warum sagt das niemand? Und wieso jetzt auf einmal alles?
He was born with a brain dysfunction.
Das war
Due to
ich.
damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Sondern nur beim Töten.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust.
Also habe ich es mit Dopamin ausgeglichen, oder wie?
As the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress.
Das
It is
wird
normally
auch
secreted when the body
ausgeschüttet
makes contact with an object of affection,
bei
such as an
sexuellen
embrace or
Aktivitäten.
caress.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do.
Und deshalb bin ich ein
He was able
Pornodickt.
to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
What was it?
Murder.
Ja,
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again
das hört sich nach
again.
Iris an. Das war die einzige Person, die zu dem Zeitpunkt 12 Jahre alt war. They really should have a censored option for all the gore. True, true. But this Pewter is the killer. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Pewter looks grimly serious.
That I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
Eigentlich scheide ich damit aus als Culprit, wenn sie es wirklich logisch erklären. Weil, wie wir festgestellt haben, bekomme ich Oxytocin durch gewisse Reize.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice,
There were two Cyclops killers.
and one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
Aber warum?
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. But that means one remains. Who is he?
After his fourth murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Fuchu prison?
Daher kam der
What's his
Anruf.
name?
In saß
In
der
prison, he
89.
doesn't have a name. They're
Zahl
simply
bitte.
called number
Ah.
89.
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So,
Und
now
wenn er
you
dich nicht
know why I
anlügt.
said
Stimmt.
that the original
Stimmt.
Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead and the other is behind bars.
Der könnte selber
Neither of them had the
89 sein. Okay, mehr sagt er mir wohl nicht. Aber wieso? Jo, Toter! Warum sagst du mir das jetzt? Warum nicht früher? Und warum weiß Boss davon nichts? Das ist schon alles ein bisschen suspicious. Also Piotr können wir auch nicht mehr vertrauen. Also am interessantesten ist vermutlich Sagan Residence. Dann gehe ich erstmal nochmal zu Mama. Ich denke, das ist am uninteressantesten momentan. Ich erzähle dir das nicht, weil du dich selbst verdächtigen sollst. Warum dann? Just because they're in prison doesn't mean they don't
Are you
have connection to
okay,
the
Mother?
outside. True.
Huh?
True.
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning, anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
Ja, bitte.
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Intuition.
Tell me.
The Kumakuras are involved in this case. Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras? Shoko also has a relationship with them. You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2, 3.
3. Iris?
No, not that one. The boy.
What
He
the?
came here last night?
Ota?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
Über die Mutter. Über die Mutter. Über die Mutter.
Have you heard the rumor?
Mama told me a similar story to ABER's. About Seijima and the Kabasaki district. Basic idea is this. 8 years ago, So sold his land in the Kabasaki district for 30 billion yen. Wo noch immer das Diner steht. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land price to drop drastically. So bought back the land for 1 billion yen. Almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. Did So blow it up or conspire to blow it up? No, that wouldn't make sense. So wouldn't gain anything from that. He would end up with 29 billion in cash and 1 billion in land. It's a net zero. But there's more to the story.
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies. They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you.
EI.
The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kabasaki.
Wann?
Now, back to So. Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kabasaki? So was the one who came up with it.
I was born and raised in Kabasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kabasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, my heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kabasaki district at any cost. Casino Town Kabasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places. The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
What?
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kabasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off limits. However, the air in Kabasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kabasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE. And by So himself. The land he bought back for $1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
Ja, das wussten wir doch, als wir bei den Yakuza waren, oder? Dass der ein bisschen in shady business ist. Mama just killed him. Yeah. But I don't think it was Mama. I appreciate the song though.
This is just another rumor, but the chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
Ja, schon.
By
Da
So
irgendwelche
and the
Zweifel
Kumakuras, you
dran?
mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip. What were we talking about again?
Ja, Ota.
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kabasaki district?
Das weiß ich.
The chemical plant explosion made times hard.
Das weiß ich auch.
Foot traffic went down, sales declined.
Mhm.
No wonder it closed down. Ota must hold a grudge. Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Naja.
Thank you, Mama. I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
Ach, ja, gar
No,
nicht.
no, it was very helpful.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
Er hat nicht mehr den Laden unaufbesichtigt lassen. Das wäre vielleicht sinnvoll. I couldn't help it. I didn't sleep up to my head. Yeah. Then do your thing. The names in this game are really a little bit weird. I have to say. Ah? Achso, oh, hier wohne ich. Ja, okay, okay. She looked like a small animal frightened by a predator. Oh je. Das ist irgendwas, was man dem Mädchen noch sagen kann. Okay. Ja, dachte ich mir.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Natürlich.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet. Not just in Japan, but worldwide. 3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends. It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
She certainly didn't seem so. But I can't stay by her side forever. That's
Aiba,
me,
contact Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
I stayed with her for a little while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing more to say, I left. Wir gehen Kameras, damit wir sie irgendwie ein bisschen sehen. In dem Spiel wird einem aber auch jedes kleinste Detail nochmal erklärt. Ich finde das gut, weil es sind sehr viele Details. Ich hab's lieber, wenn es mir öfters erklärt wird. Anstatt, dass ich dann auf dem Schlauch stehe und was nicht mehr weiß. Weird, but not forgetful, that's for sure. Ja. When I visited the Sagan household, I found he told me with a hollow look in her eyes. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. So viele Sofas. I agreed and sat down. But after that I couldn't say a single word. The heavy silence waited on both of us. Oh, sieh mal, hübsche Blumen.
In the language of flowers, the iris means good news and hope.
Ah!
When I saw the flowers this morning, I just knew something good would happen.
Iris.
Oh, der Tee ist ja so lecker.
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but...
No, please, tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
Oh.
Prison?
Er hat wohl jemanden besucht.
Acquaintance of mine from when we were younger. I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was, to visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison, in Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Wen hat er so besucht?
Prison?
Wen hast... Leute.
Oda was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school.
Oh, God.
I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
Yumi is composed. She's hiding her sorrow deep in her heart. She's gentle but strong.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together. Whether it was buying clothes, or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine. Then it was 2, then 3, and finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up. Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her. But why?
Sorry.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her.
Die lassen alle einfach alleine, die Leute.
Please, you have to catch them.
Mach ich.
Please.
Mach ich.
I will. Trust me.
That is a lot of emotional damage. True. So many persons died. I returned to boss office to report. But I didn't see her anywhere.
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
True.
I sat down in my usual seat and decided to wait for boss. Yep.
What are you doing?
I thought it would be easier to talk like this.
What do we have to talk about?
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
What summary? We don't have anything new.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research. About number 89.
Mhm, gut. Jetzt sollten wir mal ins Gefängnis und den besuchen gehen. But there was a part I missed. How did Iris have those dreams about the murders again? As it explained, no, she was killed before we could get to that. Also es wurde gesagt, dass sie auf jeden Fall... Also man kann nichts träumen, von dem man nichts weiß. Das wurde gesagt. Es wurde aber auch gesagt, dass es sein kann, dass sie das nur über Medien mitbekommen hat. Also dass sie das nur irgendwo gesehen hat und deshalb das in ihren Träumen war. Was sehr seltsam ist, dass sie anscheinend unterbewusst oder bewusst weiß, dass es 2 Killer gab, auf jeden Fall. What's the relationship between 89 and Shoko?
Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuchu Prison's waiting room. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89. After all, Fuchu Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
Oof.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
Yep.
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
It is possible.
Yeah, what says is that?
As you know,
Unknown.
he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills. He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
That's what Pewter told us.
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police.
Was steht da in der Ecke?
Unknown.
You don't know?
No such person is listed in the family registry. It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown. However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan.
What about 89 in the new Cyclops serial killings?
Pewter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial killings. One was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves 1 culprit still alive, number 89.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is
Ich habe nur 2 Minuten Spielzeit
accurate
übrig. Was? Werde ich gleich hier rausgeschmissen?
I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Hoffe nicht.
If he was telling the truth, his involvement is possible.
Also ich spiele das Spiel wieder bei Soul mit. Ich hoffe, das wirft mich jetzt nicht raus gleich. I don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's... But he's our last remaining loose and end.
Alright.
Bin nicht schnell genug im Lesen. Alright.
However, we need not go to him.
You need not go to him.
We can bring him to us.
We can bring him to us.
If we plan on syncing with him, it would be more efficient.
So,
can you arrange that?
Ja.
I can.
Ach ja? Okay. Eventuell, weil ich gerade versucht habe, ein Steam-Spiel zu starten. Und dann wirft es mich raus. Need to consider time to arrive. But for some reason, boss never showed up. Oh nee, komm. Bitte lasst jetzt nicht auch noch Boss sterben. Bitte, das ertrage ich nicht mehr. Ich ertrage das nicht mehr. Stephanie has that noir detective file. Did you play noir? Or do you mean the actual series noir detectives? Since the murder was caught on a different thing and then later convicted for the Cyclops murders. Moment. Since the murderer was caught on a different thing and then later convicted for the Cyclops murders, it might just have been a scapegoat. Yeah. And the other guy violently committed suicide. Aber das war der Kamura, also der Yakuza-Leader war das, ich weiß nicht. Ja, die Bibliothek steht den anderen nur zur Verfügung, wenn man selbst nicht spielt, glaube ich. Okay, dann schaue ich wohl weiter zu. Oder ich hör auf. Du brauchst das theoretisch, oder? Es ist 8 Uhr. Das ist ein bisschen blöd. Was machen wir jetzt? Kannst du jetzt nicht aufhören? Eigentlich nicht, aber eigentlich habe ich auch. Also ich habe nicht genug, aber es ist gerade ziemlich viel. Das ist der Typ von meinem Traum. Der in meinem Traum Hitomi getötet hat. Ich kenne den auf jeden Fall. Ich probiere gerade was anderes. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt your busy day, but I need you to tell me something. I'd appreciate your cooperation.
What's your name?
Number 89.
Your real name?
I don't remember.
Ite. Where are you from?
Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Burkina Faso is a republic in West Africa. Population 17 million.
Unlikely, würde ich sagen.
For your jokes.
Do you know Shogunazami?
Yeah, I guess I do.
About a month ago, Shoko visited Fuchu prison. Was she there to see you?
That's right.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You're in no position to lie.
I'm not lying. She didn't come to hear me talk.
Then why did she come?
To meet me.
Meet you?
She probably just wanted to see me.
Hatten die was miteinander?
A long time ago. I don't remember exactly when.
What's your relationship to her?
A physical one.
Okay.
I'm kidding. She was just a business partner.
Fuck. You're the original Cyclops killer, aren't you?
That's right. I was one of the culprits behind the case 6 years ago.
Ach, das weißt du
One
noch.
of the 2 Cyclops killers.
All right. Let's get right down to it. 2 days ago, you called Investigation HQ and said, I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
Gehen wir weiter, glaubt schon. Okay.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
It's done. You've got a deal.
All right. But to explain it properly, I need to tell you a story.
Okay.
It might take some time. Is that all right with you?
I've got nothing but time.
Then let's get started. The story of a lonely assassin. Once upon a time, there was a detective, full of righteous justice. Let's call him F. F found the evils of the world intolerable. F had no parents, no siblings, and grew up in an orphanage since he was born. He suffered every kind of abuse imaginable there. It led him to despise all the evils of the world. One day, F was chasing a thug down at the harbor. Someone wanted for the assault and murder of women.
Okay, I get it. I'll just throw down my knife. Here. And you lower your gun. It's fine. I got nothing else on me. I'll go quietly. You know, I have a history with hospitals. I've been going to a special hospital for a while. Even if I get caught, it's all good. I'll come right back out again. What should I do next time?
Hättest du nicht sagen sollen.
Just thinking about it gets me excited.
Hättest du nicht sagen sollen.
The culprit was unarmed, but F never served a day in prison. The case went to trial for some time, but it was determined to be self-defense, and he was declared innocent. If the truth got out, it would be a huge scandal for the police. People at the upper level were terrified of what might happen, so they had evidence fabricated. F wasn't suspended or disciplined at all. After a while, he returned to his job like nothing happened. That was a turning point for him. He was ready to shed the morality that was weighing him down, holding him back. F still wanted justice, and he was willing to dispense it to the immoral one by one. He became an assassin, a lone gunman, no agent, no employer. He was his own man. F believed that he was judge, jury, and executioner, but it didn't last long. One day, F got rid of a criminal we'll call X. X was responsible for defrauding and killing an innocent old man for his life insurance policy. Turns out, X had connections. Someone wasn't happy that he died. Rohan Kumakura, chairman of the Kumakuras. X was a top executive of the Kumakuras at the time. Rohan ordered his men to find and kidnap F.
I've done some research. I know you've cleaned up at least 18 pieces of scum from this earth. But somehow there hasn't been a single criminal investigation. They're all treated as suicides, accidents, or natural causes. Amazing work. I'm impressed. How about you work for us? Of course, you have the right to say no. But it'll be the last word out of your mouth.
F was trapped. Even if he somehow survived, he would be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. He had no choice but to take Rohan's offer. Thus, F's self-employment came to an end. He became a hired gun of the Kumakuras. Rohan even gave him a code name, Falco, named for the falcon, a bird of prey. Falco didn't quit his job as a police officer, though. He worked as a detective by day, assassin by night, at the will of the organization. An ordinary killer would need motive to take a life, but not Falco. He did as he was told, one target after another.
Aber gerade war er noch moralisch eigentlich.
It didn't take long to destroy his heart completely.
Die Wirtschaft fordert Opfer hier.
And a few years back, Falco, who by this time was exhausted in body and spirit, made a fatal mistake. He missed his mark and ended up taking a bullet to the stomach. Somehow he managed to escape. After reaching a nearby shrine, his legs finally gave out under him. He had no strength left. He put his back up against the shrine and let out a moaning breath that he thought might be his last. But at that moment, in his darkening vision, he saw a woman approach him. He watched her take out her phone and dial for help. At the same time, he heard footsteps. Footsteps of at least 2 people closing in. He knew immediately that they were after him. He sprung into action, grabbing the woman and pulling her close, kissing her to keep her from talking. That was the first encounter between Falco and the woman. She was a teacher at some school. It was like she was from a totally different world than him. Listening to her talk, he would forget everything about his line of work. She was his only contact with the ordinary, mundane world. They met in secret a few more times, and Falco felt his heart grow warmer. Her smile and kindness were like a cold glass of water for Falco's parched heart. Falco started to become himself again, his former self. He swore on his life that from then on, he would live for her.
So, you want to go clean? Fine. Do as you please. You've done a lot for us. But there is one last thing. One final job I want you to do for me. It's nothing major. This woman and her daughter. I need you to dispose of them. Should be simple.
Du meinst meine Tochter, also seine Tochter.
Rohan handed Falco a picture of a woman and a girl. It was the teacher Falco met at the shrine. And her daughter. She had just turned 12. Why the 2 of them? Rohan, as usual, never gave a reason. And Falco had no intention of carrying out the kill. But if he didn't, he knew that someone else would. He thought long and hard. How was he going to keep them safe and get out of the life of crime? He couldn't find an answer, no matter how hard he thought. He was backed into a corner. So, he decided to call on an old friend for help. And then...
Silence. For some reason he wouldn't open his mouth again. Gifted? What's the connection between that and Choco? Why did you stop? I said the whole story. You mentioned a detective.
Why did you stop? Was that the whole story? What's the connection between that and Shoko? You mentioned a detective. Hey, answer me.
This is a transaction, remember? Until I get a guarantee that you'll uphold your end of the bargain, I'm not telling you anything else. I'll give you half up front, half later. If you want to hear the rest of my story, you better start the release procedures. Once they've cleared, I'll tell you everything.
Date, it is unlikely that number 89 will uphold his promise, even upon release.
Pewter.
Yes?
Start the preparations.
For what?
What do you think? The sink.
Ist Jutta für irgendwas anderes zuständig, wofür er was vorbereiten könnte? Ich glaube nicht. Oh Gott. Oh Gott, das wird jetzt noch viel schlimmer als vorher. Wenn Batman finally had enough of Joker. Oh Gott. Der DJ say. DJ say?
Yeah.
Aber bin ich nicht. Ich will das nicht wieder machen. Ich bin so schlecht da drin. Ich bin viel besser im Kombinieren. Wann hat sich Rohan umgebracht? Das weiß ich nicht mehr genau. Das ist doch erst vor ein paar Jahren passiert, oder? Oder erst vor einem Jahr, oder? Auf jeden Fall noch nicht so lange her. Ein hübscher Raum.
Sup?
No, not sup. Why are you sleeping on the job?
Because I want to, obviously.
Vielen Dank für dein Follow, Sidane. Oh, das finde ich toll, Sidane. Vielen Dank. Herzlich willkommen in die Gegend.
Playtime's over. Let's begin.
Was zur Hölle macht die da?
Is this the Sagan residence?
It definitely is. But why?
Number 89. What were you up to?
Ja, hier war ich schon mal.
What? The green. I do not think I can pass through it.
Okay, the green.
Wants to hide it, huh? Okay, new plan.
Und genau bin ich. Okay. Vermutlich hat er sich dann da selber umgebracht. Telefon. Eine Barriere. Oh Gott, der Balkon, die Tür. Ah?
This appears to correspond to the green thing.
Wenn ich Sachen schließe. 89 is covered in a green membranes. I can't get close. Okay.
A winter iris that blooms in the cold.
I know, I know.
30 Sekunden, um das aufzuheben.
It smells like a typical winter iris.
What does a typical iris smell like?
Elegant and gentle.
Can't you just tell me what it smells like?
I had to search online for a description.
Sie kann gar nicht riechen.
Not find one.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
A winter iris.
Das ist doch nicht dein Ernst, ABER.
I believe in you.
Stop it! You're distracting me! I got one! Aw, right after I pulled it out, too.
Did the green stuff react at all?
A phone. Should I pick it up?
Natürlich.